What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Firearms Friday. Unfortunately, we don't have shooting, but we do have a pistol comparison for you here today. Designer, what I would call sexy pistol versus a very effective, very plain, boring pistol. If you like trailer reactions, if you like movie reviews, if you like firearms, you should probably subscribe to this channel because those are the things that we tend to cover. Every now and then we'll throw in some social issues, or we'll just talk about topics in general in relation to anime or things like that. But we do all those things, and if you like those things, you should stick around. You should hit subscribe. You should hit the alerts because it's kind of what you get when you're coming to this channel. What we're doing today is comparing the Smith & Wesson M&P. This is a 40 cal. It is cleared. There's nothing here. There's no magazine. There will be no magazine in any of the footage that we roll in. The gun is always cleared. This is also the Glock 17 9mm cleared. And we're just gonna roll through and compare these two pistols, pros and cons, things that are similar, things that make this one attractive, and ultimately the reason why I tend to stick with this one as the main go-to sidearm. So right off the bat, anything compared to a Glock with its very plain Jane slide, very simple look, anything compared to that has a little bit of design quality to it will be considered better looking, will be considered, in my opinion, a sexy gun compared to the plain Jane aesthetics of a Glock. So starting off with features that to me stand out from one to the other, we're gonna start with the Glock. The Glock has a very plain Jane slide. There is no type of like design anywhere on this thing. It is just a flat slide. Fortunately for me, I had this Duracoated by a friend of mine. I call him a friend, but really I'm a customer of his. Jace Odebar was his name at Precision, I think it's Precision Firearms in Caron Crow, Louisiana. Like, he did some real nice work. This one is many years old, so you can see little nicks and dings on the slide, but outside of that finish, there's nothing nice about the Glock design. It's just a flat boxy square. It reminds me of the pistol they give you on GTA 5 with Nico Bellic. Like, this is that. It's just a boxy gun, nothing special at all. With the M&P, you do have some lines in here. Now again, these lines are strictly for aesthetics, you know what I'm saying, just for looks, but the fact that you have little grooves to make this thing kind of stand out, the fact that you have actual aggressive serrations that gives it a whole lot of gripability. You can really feel it dig into your hand as you rack the slide, whereas with the Glock, not so much. You know, it's functional, it works, but to me it works much better when you're racking the slide here on the M&P. So slightly more functional, I'll give it to the M&P. And definitely just better looking, just not a plain box frame. And I like that. You got to give it some points for that. Now, to be honest, the grip and grip angle, when we talk about grip angle, like, I give it a draw. I know that the grip angle is definitely not the same. Everyone knows that the Glock has a very low bore axis, as your point, like that barrel and that bore axis is very close to that finger on your hand, as well as on the M&P is a very different type of angle, kind of more upright, still very pointable. And again, I think if I were to be firing both, I think that both of these have very good shootability. I know for certain this one does. This is my personal weapon. This is from my father, and I haven't put any rounds through it. But I imagine this design, this grip angle, the feel that you get with it, I imagine I could probably get hits with it just as easy as I could with the one I'm super familiar with. But when it comes to the grip of the gun itself, so not grip angle, but the actual physical grip, the M&P is pissing on the Glock. I'm sorry, I have to say it just like it is. There is so much left to be desired in the Glock design. The fact that you have these very simple finger grooves, the fact that you don't have any real stippling that helps you get an extra grip on the gun. The angle is not the best when coupled with that lack of grip. I don't know, something about this handle that they give to you just leaves a lot to be desired. When you look at the M&P, you have different palm swells that you can put on, but even without different palm swells, you can take that out. The stippling that these guys did on this grip, it's like, man, it feels so good. I know, and I've watched a lot of different videos on people talking about the thing that helps you mitigate recoil very, very well is the actual grip that you can have on the pistol. This really feels to me like I would not slip at all. Like I can go in the water, out the water, put soap on my hands, put anything on my hands, grab this aggressive stippling, and it will not move. It will not budge from my grip. I can squeeze it as tight as I want, and I don't feel much resistance. Whereas with the Glock, like you squeeze it and something about it, maybe it's the finger grooves, maybe it's the lack of a palm swell, I don't know what it is, but something about squeezing this Glock does not feel like I'm squeezing something that is very ergonomically designed for my hand. This one feels great to squeeze, great to point. I feel like I can put multiple rounds on target with this just based on the grippiness alone. Ultimately, the reason why I come back down to being Team Glock, no matter what, comes down to two features on the Glock pistol that I prefer on the Glock more than I prefer on the M&P, and that would be number one, the trigger. I hate Smith & Wesson triggers. My friend had a Sigma. I took it out, put some rounds through it. Hate that spongy. It doesn't have like a set after you click that first strike of fire. It's like, man, there's a lot to be desired when it comes to an M&P trigger. Now that's not saying, I'm not saying that I'm in love with the Glock trigger. Like there are better triggers out there. I imagine if there was a trigger job, like back in the day on the forums and stuff, people would talk about doing trigger drops to their Glocks to lighten the poundage. I don't care about all that. There can be better triggers than what's present in this Glock, but when I have to pick between these two, I'm definitely picking the Glock trigger over the M&P trigger itself. That's a big deal for me. I enjoy the Glock trigger much more than the M&P. Not saying that the Glock is the best trigger in the world, but I enjoy that trigger more. And the other factor is the sight picture. So I'm rolling some photos. My photos are blurry. Apologies. But the M&P comes with the 3-dot system. I hope that I'm getting that on camera, or maybe you just have to look at the photos. Who knows when it comes down to editing. But my eyes are bad, y'all. I cannot see. So when it comes to me like pointing and aiming, it's just not the best situation with those 3 dots. Like I try to focus on that center dot and like let the other 2 dots kind of haze out. And with these bad eyes, it doesn't happen quite naturally. But on the Glock, and I love this feature, I've always loved this feature, this U-notch, like that little U-notch, I don't have to line anything up. All I have to do is make sure this dot sits in that U-notch, and it just happens very naturally. I feel like I always get a quick and precise sight picture with the Glock, that dot in the front and the U-notch in the back. I love it. I'm actually looking into possibly getting a big dot put on this Glock 17, so it will make it even better, have a night sight, as well as putting the excess night sights on my little Ruger. I don't know if I want to do that or if I want to sell the little Ruger. I'm not certain yet. I'm on the fence about a lot of things. I'm actually doing a whole bunch of movement when it comes to my firearms right now, and I'll do a video, philosophy video, talking about that. But the sight picture and the trigger, the fact that I can pick up a real good sight picture really fast, and I like the trigger pull on the Glock, as well as the bore axis like that. The point of aim, I feel good about the Glock still, even after all these years, even with newer, more ergonomic pistols like the M&P on the market. So even though I'm making a bunch of moves in the background, and I'll let you guys in on a few of those things once they go through, I don't feel needed, or I don't feel it necessary to go into getting rid of the Glock and going for one of these newer pistols like a Canic or like an FN. Like nice guns, beautiful guns, way sexier than this boxy thing, but I just don't see the reason to replace something that's tried, true, proven, and has been reliable for me for, I'm close to 400-500 rounds. I don't shoot pistols a lot. Previous years I used to be a pistol guy, but last 2-3 years it kind of went to rifles and shotguns. So I'm assuming get back into things. That's all part of the process that I'm going through behind the scenes. So look out for a philosophy video about firearm ownership coming real soon. Be on the lookout for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and just other things. So enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and please come back, check out more videos.